What if I told you there's an unseen danger lurking in wildlife conservation? A threat that could reshape the future for species like the fossa, an animal most people barely know about. You might think you understand these fascinating creatures, but there's a twist. The way we observe and classify fossa behavior is at risk of being misinterpreted by artificial intelligence, and the consequences could be serious. Imagine you're in Madagascar, surrounded by lush forests where the fossa roams. You've heard they're solitary, clever hunters. But what if that's just part of the story? AI is currently being used to analyze wildlife behavior, but these algorithms designed to spot patterns might overlook the nuances of the fossa's social interactions. You might think that's a minor issue, but what if it leads to decisions that threaten their survival? Picture this: conservationists armed with misinterpreted data could misallocate resources, focusing on areas that don't need intervention while vital habitats go unprotected. Suddenly, the fossa's population could decline even further without anyone realizing the mistake. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? So, how did we get here? The rush to automate wildlife observation has created blind spots. I can miss behaviors that humans would catch immediately. A fossa might seem alone but could be communicating with others in ways machines can't detect. What if their complex social structures are completely misunderstood? The stakes are getting higher. With wildlife facing unprecedented threats from climate change and habitat loss, we must ensure that every piece of data we collect is accurate and truly reflects reality. But there's a glimmer of hope. Some scientists are beginning to combine AI with traditional observation methods. It's a promising step. As you think about the fate of the fossa, consider the broader implications. This is just about one species, it's about the future of wildlife conservation as a whole. Are we ready to confront the overlooked risks of AI misclassifying animal behavior? As you reflect on this, think about how you can stay informed and engaged. The fate of these species depends on our awareness and action. Remember, your understanding might just be the key to protecting their future. Have you ever considered how a small mistake in classification can lead to serious consequences? Imagine a scenario where artificial intelligence misinterprets a fossa's stress signals. This is happening now, and it could significantly change our approach to wildlife conservation. Many people see technology as our savior, but what if I told you that I might overlook the very signals indicating a fossa is in distress? The potential impact is enormous, yet few are aware of this growing concern. Picture this: a fossa quietly navigating its forest habitat. A flick of its tail or a shift in posture, these subtle signs hold crucial information. But when I misread them, it's not just data, it's a life that could be at risk. Conservationists rely on AI to monitor wildlife behavior, believing they have everything under control. Misclassification is just a minor issue. It could lead to disastrous outcomes and misguided conservation efforts. Imagine being in a lush, vibrant forest, feeling the weight of responsibility. You're tasked with protecting an endangered species, but your tools are providing incorrect information. You see a fossa retreating into the shadows and mistakenly interpret its actions as normal behavior, when in reality, it's a clear sign of significant stress. Can you feel that tension? Time is of the essence and every moment counts. These animals depend on us to make the right decisions, but AI misclassifications could isolate them, exposing them to threats that could have been easily avoided. So, what can we do? It starts with recognizing that while technology is powerful, it can also err. We need to prioritize field observations alongside AI analysis to ensure that every flick of a fossa's tail and every shift in its stance is accurately understood. As we embrace new technologies, let's not overlook the value of human intuition. Your role in this conversation is crucial. By staying informed and advocating for better technology, you can help bridge the gap between eye and wildlife conservation. Remember, every small action can lead to a bigger impact. Don't let the overlooked risks of eye misclassifying fossa behavior go unnoticed. Together, we can protect these incredible creatures from the shadows of misunderstanding. Imagine strolling through a lush forest, sunlight streaming through the leaves, when suddenly you hear a rustle. What if that sound hinted at a much larger issue threatening an entire ecosystem? This is just another wildlife moment. It's a warning about a hidden danger that often goes unnoticed. You might think you know what a fossa is. This fascinating creature often gets overshadowed by more famous wildlife. But did you know that how we categorize its behavior could actually hinder conservation efforts? It may sound dramatic, but the stakes are both real and urgent. People are starting to understand that when I misclassifies fossa behavior, it can lead to harmful decisions in wildlife conservation. Imagine researchers depending on technology to track fossa populations, only to find the algorithms fail to recognize their unique habits. What's the result? The balance of an entire ecosystem hangs in the balance. Think about a wildlife reserve intended to be a sanctuary for these incredible creatures. If I mistakenly labels a peaceful gathering of fossas as aggressive, conservationists might be pushed to take drastic actions. Picture being part of that team motivated to protect yet misled by a machine. It's a nightmare scenario, isn't it? Now let's delve a bit deeper. Imagine you're on a late-night patrol, the air thick with tension. You spot a fossa, its eyes shimmering in the moonlight. But what if the behavior you observe is misinterpreted? You might think you're witnessing a threat when it's really just a natural instinct. The consequences: wrong decisions could lead to unnecessary culling or habitat destruction. This issue is just about the fossa, it impacts all of us. Each misclassification undermines the very foundation of wildlife conservation. The stakes are high, and the ripple effects reach far beyond a single species. We're talking about entire ecosystems and, ultimately, our shared future planet. Here's where it gets even more concerning. Many conservationists remain unaware of these risks. They trust the technology without questioning it, and this blind faith can lead to devastating outcomes. What if the very tools meant to protect wildlife end up being their worst enemy? So what can we do? We need to ask tough questions. Is there a way to enhance eye accuracy? Perhaps blending human